Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Today we're going to discuss some elite Counter-Strike 2 tips that will definitely help you improve your skill at the game. You can notice in this battle between me and Kakomo, me and Muffin Hunter 700 are making an inquiry to enter the house. I throw my surveillance drone in and oh, what do I see? He exits the site. This, of course, is a severe lapse in his judgment, considering he is a defender and he is supposed to defend. Maybe this is just a side effect of his limited knowledge of the game. As the fiend breaks into the private domicile, we notice he opens up with the London system, which is quite a good idea, but, well, it's not necessarily fitting to the situation. As we can see, the attacker Monarch is actually getting me to a critical point here and trying to, well, get the battery stealing execution when my teammate comes in and kills him.
Attacker mission success.
I think it goes without saying that we did, in fact, win this round. There's no doubting that. White here breaks into Black's house and begins entering it. They then make a very interesting move. It's brilliant, actually, sacrificing the rook, which also does quickly get captured.
Drop the bomb diffuser.
That was a very interesting game. Very solid position, very interesting endgame from White with a brilliant move that then won the game for Black. In this next clip, it seems as if though Kakomol has flipped around the entire kerfuffle by being in my walls and killing my roommate through the ceiling. Now it seems he is committed homicide and should be in prison. However, he has also committed tax evasion earlier, which would also have landed him in prison. In turn, that all makes sense and checks out. I'm trying to assess the situation here and look up for divine intervention. However, that did not work. When we arrive at the situation, I immediately go up to this hard wall, as you can see right here, and I try performing something that we in Rainbow Six Siege lingo call lettuce. Not to be confused with the food. This is a very advanced strategy in which you shoot at a wall. Here we can see a Wild Western duel between an American and an Australian. Australians, of course, being upside down all the time, which is their natural habitat. This goes on for a while, quite a while if I do say so myself.
Are you supposed to be muted? Are you saying this sort of thing?
Here, Kakomol decides to leave his post as a security guard and go hunting.
Bomb diffuser has been dropped.
He kills my friend. Not really that bad. And then he goes right back to the duel, as if nothing ever happened. I, of course, patiently waited, because I knew that he was gone, and I waited, yes. Yeah. Smoke. You can't see through it. That's smoke for you. That's what you get from the smoke. You can see a very interesting strat from Kakomol here. He batters through the wall and then uses no clip to go through the wall and kill me from the side. This is a very interesting strategy that is used by many speedrunners of this game. Here we're trying to break into the second floor, and I, me being on the left, use one of the only gadgets that can break through these kinds of barricades, but Kakomol was sadly too present and utilized it to murder me in cold blood. Here you can see me on the right in my little room while Muffin tries to de-escalate the situation. Sadly, he fails and notifies me of this, which is why I leave and distance myself from the situation. Sometimes this helps in this game. Just distance yourself from the situation and no harm will come to you personally. So this next round, ladies and gentlemen, is actually really interesting if you think about it. What we're gonna need is the Pythagorean theorem, and what we can think about this, can't we? What do we know? What do we know? We know that A is the distance between Kakomol and Muffin Hunter, which is obstructed by a solid wall. We know that B is the space between the Muffin Hunter and his Gemini clone replicator thingy. I'm so good at Siege that I even know the terminology for this, but I'm not telling you because I'm gatekeeping, because this game is so good. Yeah, I love Valorant. And we know that C is the distance between Muffin Hunter and Kakomol. We know that this is obstructed by a barricade, right? So what we need to find out is, how does Muffin get in? Well, this is easy. We just need to find C. We need to find C. That is easy. We know what A is. We know it's a bench because by process of elimination we can conclude that it isn't an apple, because you see, an apple is not a apple. A apple is false.
Noun.
It is not grammatically
The
correct.
fleshy,
So by that we
usually
can
rounded
deduce
red,
that A is
yellow,
4.
or green, edible
And a
palm
bench
fruit
also, because
of a
benches like kind of look like
usually
4s, you know. They go, they
of
like
the
go
rose
like
and fabric.
they like, you know, like they
Capable
like
of
they.
being
They're not gonna tell you this, but they do look like benches.
or
We know what B
intelligible,
is. We know what B is. We know that B is an animal.
comprehensibility.
Yes, we know
Any
that
of
it's a
numerous
bee,
enough
an animal.
pursuit.
Yes, the bee movie,
Comprehensible
the
differ
animal,
from
the bee
wasps,
animal.
especially in the
And
heavier
we know
superior
that
body
moving
and
images
inhabit
that
C,
sucking therefore
and
must
chewing
be
mouth parts
bench
that feed on
squared
pollen and nectar,
plus
or on the screen
a
that
square
golden or
bee.
and often
So we know
also
that
the
a
movies,
bench
a showing of
doesn't
a motion
usually
picture,
have
especially in the
square
theater.
attributes.
The
But we also
movies,
know
the
that
business of
normal
making movies,
bees are
the
not
medium
square.
or industry of
However,
film.
in the hit game Minecraft, bees are in fact square. So this is what the author is trying to tell us with this equation. The John Rainbow Six Siege is really smart. So it's actually a Minecraft bee, and a Minecraft bee plus a square bench,
Webster's
which is
Dictionary.
16,
Mathematics.
is,
Noun.
what is it?
The science of
Exactly.
numbers and their
16B.
operations.
Okay, here Muffin Hunter does something very interesting, but Kako does something way more interesting, which is a walking in. This round is very interesting because Kakomol places down his defenses right after shooting down one of the only gadgets that can break through such barricades, and tries to block the entrance off for the public, which truthfully is irrational, but what can one do? Afterwards, very quickly, I walk into the building hidden by the smoke and hide behind a wall. Kakomol picks up his shield and places it down once more. I smoke him and begin planting the diffuser in hopes that it will grow in the smoke. Muffin Hunter and Kakomol are having an
Attackers
intensive
activating diffuser.
firefight while the diffuser was successfully activated. This round is truthfully a refresher because you see, the defenders win. up until now, only the attackers won because the rounds are a half an hour